how's everyone doing? Today I'll be doing random horror DVD shelf number 4. And if you've seen any of these horror movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. But let's go ahead and check it out. I've shown you 1, 2, 3 horror DVD shelves already, and I'll go ahead and show you number 4. And first off, I took some off on here that I had stacked up. I'll go ahead and show you them. First up is the remake for We Are What We Are, which I actually really enjoyed. I was surprised by it. I like what they did with the backstory there, and the ending was fantastic. And this is Water Monsters, a 4-movie set with Anaconda, Blackwater, Redwater, and She Creature. I still love Anaconda. Blackwater was pretty decent too. She Creature I don't really remember, and Redwater I think was the one with Lou Diamond Phillips and Coolio and Christy Swanson. Yeah, that was terrible. Farmhouse, which Kelly Hu is just stunning. Overall, though, I didn't love this movie. There's a couple good scenes, and again, Kelly Hu. And I don't know, they try to do something a little bit more with it from the ending, but I had from the beginning, I've seen a lot of movies like this with that similar concept. So I kind of had an idea that something like that had happened, but I didn't really like the way that it played out. But it did have some good scenes. Next up is double feature DVD of the Italian zombie movies Part 1 and 2, Zombie Abomination, Zombie Atrocity. And Predator, the original. I still have my old DVD copy of it. I'm not sure which Blu-ray copy to pick up of it, because there's just been so many talks of the transfers being, DNR to crap, and them looking waxy, so I don't really want that. I'm just going to hold on to the DVD for now until I hear what the definitive Blu-ray edition is for it. And next up is Treasure Chest of Horrors 2, starring Penthouse Pet Veronica Ricci. 6 Sick and Twisted Tales of Horror. So I guess it's a horror anthology movie. I haven't seen it yet. It stars Cool Duder in there. And a lot of movies that I've seen him in, it has him not actually on set, but filming at his actual house, and they just kind of splice it in. And honestly, that usually feels kind of cheap and out of place when they do that. And there's some makeup effects right there. It looks like he's puking up oatmeal or something. That older guy right there. It looks like a drill to the face. I'll check this out. Hopefully it'll be decent and cheesy fun. Hack Job, featuring Odorous Arungus from Guar. The Disco Exorcist, Get Down and Get Dead. Cheese-tastic. Let's go on to the shelf now. And first up, we have the MGM Midnight Movies double feature release for Deranged and Motel Hell. Both great movies. I especially love Motel Hell. Great horror comedy movie. Takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent fritters. Love it. And I do have the Arrow release for it. And I think Arrow released Deranged as well. I'll have to look into that and maybe finally put this double feature to rest and upgrade both movies. Long Pigs. Crazy cannibal movie. Thirst, a really underrated vampire movie from Park Chan-wook, who directed Old Boy. Very dark and atmospheric. Campfire Tales with Amy Smart, Ron Livingston, Christine Taylor, and James Marsden. Jason Goes to Hell. This is the unrated and R version. Unfortunately, the recent Blu-ray box set did not have the unrated version of this. H.G. Lewis's 2000 Maniacs, special edition, something weird video. The Stuff, which is a cheesy, fun sci-fi horror movie right here from Larry Cohen. Cold and Dark. The Witches with Angelica Houston, and this is kind of like more of a PG kind of horror movie from for kids, really. But this creeped me the heck out when I was a kid. Look at that. Look at those like rat creatures right there. White Noise. Stephen King's It. They're remaking it without Tim Curry, which is crazy to me. I will say, though, I'm not a huge fan of this movie. I am going to give it a rewatch to give it another chance. I didn't watch it when I was younger. I watched it for the first time a few years ago. I think maybe that had something to do with it. I think a lot of people watched it when they were a kid and it freaked them out. I could see that there. I thought it was a little long. The pacing could have been better. But there were a couple creepy scenes. That's about it. But I'll give it another chance. Maybe I'll like it more on a rewatch. That's happened before. This is Night of the Living Dead Reanimated. I believe this is just basically an animated version of Night of the Living Dead. I haven't actually sat down and checked that one out yet, but I plan to soon. Goth Kill, which is another one I still need to watch. Mold, which is, I really enjoy this one. I thought this was really good, cheesy, kind of a throwback to 80s slime-esque kind of movies. Cheesy fun. I plan to do a full review for this coming up soon. I actually was at a local bar of mine, and I was ended up just talking to somebody there, and they happened to just sit down next to me, and we were drinking and BSing, and we got to talking about movies, and he said he worked on this film. So that was a pretty cool coincidence. I'm like, I'm just about to review this film. So, pretty cool. Blitzkrieg, Escape from Stalag 69. Looks like a exploitation film that I still need to check out as well. The Dead Inside, which I also still need to check out. Cold Prey 2, which is a fantastic Norwegian slasher. It's become one of my favorite modern slashers. I prefer it over the first one. A great mixture of some of my favorite horror settings with a hospital setting and a snowy setting. Love this one. And next up is Madison County, which is in line with all the recent Pig Mask Killer movies, with Madison County, Piggy, Pig Girl, and the Pork Chop trilogy as well. I thought this one was pretty decent. I really liked the look of the killer, and the acting was hit or miss. Some of them I liked, some of them I didn't. I wanted a little bit more from the ending, kind of set itself up for a sequel. I thought it was an above-average slasher. What really made it stood out was the creepy look to the killer, but I wanted a little bit more from it. Next up is Southern Gothic. I thought this had a really good performance in here from William Forsythe. Crazy as heck. We Are the Night, a German vampire film. Itchy the Killer, which is just an awesome movie, but this is another one of the examples of the U.S. blood packs drying up super quick, with the Saw one, the Hills Have Eyes one, but the international blood pack releases seem to retain their blood. Fire in the Sky, the movie that creeped me out the most. I watched this movie when I was like 14 or 15 for the first time, and especially the scene when he's on the ship with the alien doing the procedures on him. That creeped me the heck out. He's being dragged too in that one part. I couldn't watch this again for years. Love this movie though. It doesn't have quite the same effect on me as it did back then, but a lot of great memories, and still probably the best alien abduction movie ever. Tourist Trap, which is probably my favorite slasher movie too. Not considering Psycho. Psycho's the granddaddy kind of prerequisite slasher, but Tourist Trap is so creepy. And again, alien abduction movies creep me out the most. Then like killer creepy dolls and mannequins, and then evil killer kids. And this one right here has the creepy mannequins going on in here. Really good supernatural slasher. I was able to get this signed up by director David Schmoller. Pretty cool. One of my friends on here, Lori, helped me get this. Thank you very much, Lori. Next up is 30 Days of Night, which has become one of my favorite vampire movies. Again, I love movies with a snowy setting, and this one just was really awesome. It's a modern vampire movie that actually has fangs. It's dark, and I love Ben Foster in here. He really kind of steals the show with his character, and I love the way that the blood pops on the snow. That red on the white snow just really stands out. And I was able to get this signed up as well, so pretty happy with that. And you can see the creepy look to the vampires in here too. And it had a really nice bleak ending, and good suspense all throughout. Slither, which I was able to get signed up as well. James Gunn right there. And then Tyler Bates, who did the score. And James Gunn went on to do big things now with Guardians of the Galaxy. But this to me is just a fun, rewatchable sci-fi horror comedy movie. The whole cast was great. So many memorable moments in here. The creepy look to the alien slugs, the different effects there, the one woman that explodes. Awesome movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Dennis Hopper cover right there from MGM. I was able to get this signed up by Tom Savini, so that's why I'm keeping the DVD for it. The old Anchor Bay Suspiria limited edition DVD set right here. Big heavy 3-disc set limited to 60,000. And disc 3 was the Goblin soundtrack. Next up is Pumpkinhead, which I love that cover. That's really the main reason I'm keeping this. I know Scream Factory just released their Blu-ray of it, and I definitely plan to pick that up, but I just love that cover. A lot of memories of watching this one as well. And next up is my second favorite slasher behind Tourist Trap, The House on Sorority Row, which I do have on Blu-ray, but for a while, I have 2 separate DVD releases right here. For a while, these ones were hard to come by, so I don't know, I'm just going to keep them too. I love this movie, and even though it has the same covers, different spine, I think there's a couple different special features. This one right here is the 25th anniversary edition. So I'm going to keep this one. This one's the 2-disc special edition right there. But love the heck out of that one. If you haven't seen House on Sorority Row and you like throwback 80s slashers, I would highly recommend it. And next up is a Cult Classics double feature right here. And I really love Earth vs. the Spider. This is one that I watched all the time growing up. It used to be on TV late at night and early in the morning, and I just remember loving the heck out of it. Again, both these movies are kind of Cold War era, nuclear times kind of movies. Great sci-fi horror, and War of the Colossal Beast was really enjoyable as well. Just a giant dude, terrorizing. But Earth vs. the Spider to me is a cult classic for sure. This is a cult classic double feature, obviously, but I love that one. And I rarely hear anybody talk about it, which is a shame. Both those are great, but Earth vs. the Spider has a special place in my heart because I used to watch it all the time growing up. And next up is Naked You Die from the Antonio Margaretti collection. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Again, I have a bunch of different editions of this one. I'm keeping this one for the cool lenticular cover. You know what? I could resell it. I have several different editions, like I said, of this movie, but what am I going to get? Like $1 or $2 for it? I don't know. I like the cover. And this is the gruesome edition as well, so I do think it has a little bit more special features than my other one, but I have the Blu-ray of it too, so I don't know, maybe one day I'll get rid of this one, but for now I'm going to hold on to it. Ravenous, which is a great cannibal snowy setting movie right here, which Scream Factory just released the Blu-ray for this as well. I like the comedic aspects in here too. Guy Pearce is such an underrated actor. Robert Carlyle, and then David Arquette too. P2, which I would love to see get a Blu-ray release. Very underrated film, which I don't hear many people talk about it. It's Christmas Eve, and she's being terrorized by creepy Wes Bentley. He plays the creepy dude in so many movies, and he plays it very convincingly. But I think he's most notably known for being in American Beauty, filming The Bag, and just being a weirdo and drug dealer neighbor. And great film, though, this one right here. Good tension all throughout. And I love everything that Alexander Aja has been involved with so far, and as well as Frank Califun. They work well together. And they work together in the Maniac remake as well. But this one very tense, and highly recommend P2. Dream Home. I'm really loving a lot of the IFC horror releases. Driller, a sexual thriller, which is basically a horror porn spoof. It's basically a spoof on Michael Jackson's Thriller video. But this was hilarious. I'm going to do a review for this as well coming up soon. Just super cheesy fun. Way better than I was expecting. And this is Zombie Hunters, City of the Dead. De La Morte from Beelzebub. Isolation, Killer Mutant Cows. Yeah, you heard me right. This was actually pretty decent, though. I remember enjoying this one. It's been a while since I've seen it. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Oh, Elvira. I remember when Anchor Bay used to be the king of horror. What happened to Anchor Bay? They used to have so many different re-releases, too, but I always remember trying to collect all the Anchor Bay horror DVDs back in the day. And this is the Massacre Collection for Slumber Party Massacre. This used to be out of print and going for a bunch of money, but now it's been released from Scream Factory DVD and Blu-ray. Freaks. And they just started up American Horror Story Freaks, which was freaking amazing. Can't wait to see more from that show. And this was a classic right here. The Bloody Ape. 100% pure underground trash. And then, like I said before, this was re-released. And this is right here, the Slumber Party Massacre Collection. This is the 2-disc right here set with all 3 films. And they used that same front cover right there. And I actually ended up pre-ordering this, so it came with a blood-soaked pillow design with a Slumber Party Massacre written on the pillow in blood. Horror Hotel. Splintered, which I was able to get signed up by a couple people involved with the film, including the 2 of the lead actors right there. And this movie is really unique, and this is another one that I think is very underrated. I love the contortionist movements, the look to the creature, and I really like the interaction, too, with the characters. Very good acting all throughout. Jill Wagner, Shea Wiggum, and Toby Wilkins. Toby Wilkins, the director, and then the 2 lead actors were the ones that I was able to get signed from this. But fantastic film. Very underrated, creepy, and atmospheric. Definitely recommend that one. And next up is the 9-film collection, Death Comes in Threes. And it's Demonic Toys 1 through 3, Ginger Dead Man 1 through 3, and then Killjoy 1 through 3. And I've seen the Demonic Toys movies, but not Ginger Dead Man or Killjoy yet. So I picked this up at $5 at Walmart for the 9 films right there. I figured, why the heck not? I'd give it a chance. Ginger Dead Man has Gary Busey doing the voice, I believe, so that'll be cheesy fun, I'm hoping. And then next up is Feast, which is a fun horror movie right here, very fast-paced. The only thing I didn't love about it was the narration for the characters, where they, characters introduced and they explain who they are and, their setup and everything like that. I didn't need that. I was able to get this signed up by Judah Friedlander, the comedian. I believe he played the bartender in here. And I actually just recently watched some of the sequels. It's been a while since I've seen the original one, but I remember really enjoying it. And he did a bunch of, he's a comedian. He was on 30 Rock as well as Frank, but he did a bunch of local comedy shows that I've seen him in over the years, and I've seen him several times. I got pictures with him, and very funny, very nice as well, and he was able to sign it up. He wanted to sign in the back where his name was. I'm like, no, let's not do that. Sign in the front. So he was cool about that. I see that a lot of times when people sign, they'll just sign on the back where if there's a picture of them or where their name is. I'm like, no, who would want that? If you're going to get signed, I figured you'd want to get it signed on the front cover. And he wrote, Jay, you're cool. Kind of generic. He did it on the picture, too. He wrote something on the picture I took years ago with him, and I brought it for him to sign. He wrote something kind of generic like that, too. But still, very funny guy and very cool and nice for him to sign it and take the time out to talk to his fans and things like that. So there you go. There was Random Horror DVD Shelf number 4. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. And I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.